Saw that posted several times. Karmelo's been charged as an adult. Well, then you have the people on one side that are horrified, and then you have the people on the other side that are saying, yeah, he should be getting the death penalty. The truth is, it's a non-story.
Willie D. Live.
And so you have people, that was my big motivation with the drug war, is I like save people's life. Like I had a woman, hit me on Instagram. Of course, I forget. I've represented probably 10,000 more people over the years, and she was a successful geologist now for a major oil company, but she had a shitty case, and the whole thing was shit, and it would have completely derailed her life, right, over bullshit, drug bullshit, because she happened to be in the car with someone that had just a misdemeanor amount of drugs, just whatever, or a state jail felony. But back in the 2000s, a lot of these smaller suburban police departments, Pearland, for example, they'd file the shit on every kid in the fucking car if no kid would own up to it. I mean, we have a rapper that went to jail back in the day, or prison, because somebody else wouldn't own up to drank in the car. It's what happens. And, went on about how, because some of the other people pled, but she was my client, I got it dismissed, and just wrote me this long missive about how it saved her life and how well she's doing now. And we don't think about those downstream consequences that this drug war has on kids, on young adults who all of a sudden just don't have opportunity now, right? And, and it's long term. And it's not, and you get in this net, like how many people do we have in Texas or in America that got a coke case or a heroin case or a speed case or whatever when they were, or acid, whatever, when they're 19, 20, 21 years old. And then 10 years later, they're hunting and they get arrested, or they're in a car where there's a gun and they get a felon in possession of a gun case when they're not out there criming, they just, personal protection or whatever. We remove people from opportunities in our society, and the people that suffer worse, there's absolutely no doubt about that, are law-abiding black men. And by law-abiding, I mean black men not committing victim crime, right? Who somehow get caught up in the net of the system for something like cocaine or something, just simple possession. And then they keep getting fucked with by the system. And what does that do? I think it leads people to actual crime. I think we put people in prison for drugs. It's crazy.
Let's switch for a minute. You've been following the Karmelo Anthony Austin Metcalf case, right?
Yes, sir.
So you know that Karmelo is being charged as an adult, and he if convicted, he faces life with parole after 40 years.
So it was a big Facebook story this week. I saw that posted several times. Karmelo's been charged as an adult. Well, then you have the people on one side that are horrified, and then you have the people on the other side that are saying, yeah, he should be getting the death penalty. The truth is, it's a non-story. You reach your age of criminal majority in Texas at 17. Everyone does. He was always charged as an adult. You're not charged as a juvenile unless you're 16 or under. Now, there are some juveniles in some type of cases where you can get certified and prosecuted as an adult when you're still a juvenile.
17,
but he was 17-year-olds are always charged as an adult. So he was always charged as an adult. It's a story by those outside of Texas who don't understand, or those inside Texas who aren't familiar with the law. At 17, you're always, every case you get, whether it's a DWI or a murder, the whole gauntlet, you're always charged as an adult because you are an adult at 17 under the eyes of the law for most purposes other than like a sexual performance. There's a couple of weird categories. So he was always an adult when he committed the murder.